This is Travis, and welcome to Drunk Talk. Stay sober, my friends. What's going on, brothers and sisters? It's Travis back at you with another round of Drunk Talk. Doing a little different angle here. We've got a little better lighting going this way. It's kind of over in the corner of the room, and it was kind of dark. But anyway, I think this video might be a little longer, so just bear with me. Today what I want to do is I kind of want to discuss what rehab is like. For those of you that might be contemplating going into rehab or, getting sober in rehab you may think is an option. I want to say first and foremost, if you drink heavily or if you're a heavy drug user, seeking medical supervision is a wise move. When I got sober, I actually checked into the hospital, and I spent 2 nights in the hospital. I think it was 2 nights. It was 1 or 2 nights, I don't know. But I had an IV hooked up to me. And the reason I say that is because your body's going to be going through with some severe withdrawal. And me in particular, I don't want to call it hallucinating because I wasn't seeing visions, but I was hearing voices in my head. I was like semi-psychotic. I was literally hearing somebody talking, but there was nobody in the room. I mean, the reason I say semi-psychotic is because it's not like I was hearing a voice and I was talking to it, but it was like I could hear it. It was just the weirdest thing. And it lasted more than that night. I was on the IV all night and I was hearing these voices, and then on the way, my dad was taking me to the rehabilitation center, and I was literally hearing voices all the way till the time I got there, and the time that I got checked into my room, I was still hearing them. And it was just weird because I was just like looking around like, where are these people? And there was nobody there. It was crazy. And that's what I went through, and having somebody deal with that on their own with no supervision around, that's why I would say I would highly recommend, if you're a heavy user, seek medical supervision. But anywho, initially when you check into a rehab facility, obviously you go up to the front desk, they do the whole rigmarole, take you into the nurse's office. They're going to check you for they're not going to give you like a full cavity search. Obviously you're checking involuntarily, but they're going to make sure that you don't have any contraband on you, any drug paraphernalia, any drugs. They're going to take anything as far as, cologne or anything that you might be fixing to fucking swallow. They make sure that you don't have anything. And then they're going to check you into the, I don't know if you want to, it's a wing you're in for a week to go through the withdrawal symptoms. They have you over there. Basically, there's a lot of sleeping. They check your vitals a lot. They ask you a million different questions. There's tons of questions that are being asked. Probably just getting a psychological evaluation to determine what the hell's going on upstairs. And like I said, they're continuously checking, then obviously, I kind of think of it as somewhat, it kind of reminded me of hockey camp when I was younger, because, not that hockey camp was rehab, but you have set scheduling, like you wake up at 7, you go and do whatever, and then there's things that you do throughout the day in the rehabilitation center, and they have set lunches, but you have to make sure that you're at all of these, otherwise they'll just throw you out. They want to make sure that you're serious. But anywho, first 7 days you're usually in, I don't know if you want to call it the dry wing or whatever, so you're not around any other people. They keep you. And in this particular facility, they had boys on one side and girls on the other. So you had the only time you had interaction with the opposite sex was at the end of every day. They would have somebody come in and speak about their alcoholism or drug abuse, where somebody would stand up front and just tell you their story. They did that I was there for 30 days, and there was one every day. So that was the only time that boys and girls were together. But yeah, the first 7 days you're over there, and then once you're done drying out and everything's good to go, they send you into where everyone else is, and you start going through their scheduling. It was over 8 years ago, so I'm going to be a little foggy on the exact details, but you go to like a counseling session for an hour. It's like just a round table of other alcoholics. I mean, there was some one-on-one time. They had some rec time. Obviously, you have lunch. I don't know, me in particular, every morning I would go out they had a little track. So I would just walk around the track and, exercise. That's when I picked up exercise immediately when I went to rehab. But, basically you have a set schedule that you go through on a daily basis. And like I said, you have to be there and all of those things. You have to wake up, I think it's 7 in the morning, and go to those classes and do your thing. And you do it every day for 30 days. And you have very little time. You have no cell phones, nothing. All that stuff's taken from you. And you have old school coin machine phones that you can call your family on, like, I don't know, every so often. I contacted my family a couple of times. Like I said, I wanted to get cleaned out. So, I wasn't on the phone, but you only could be on there for X amount of time anyway. And they only let you on, I think it was 10 or 15 minutes at a time or something like that. But, there's a lot of one-on-one with counselors, a lot of, I don't even know how many questionnaires I had to do. I suppose they went through all of those things and determined what I needed. I don't know. But like I said, every single night at the end of rehab, they had somebody come in and discuss their story. And one of the things that you did hear at the beginning when everybody was talking is all you heard about was the circle of death. What happens is they have basically a group of people. They get in a circle, and then you have your family members come in, and they sit directly in front of you. I don't even know how it started. There's a counselor there, and the only thing I remember is I started crying uncontrollably. It was like it was like the biggest weight. I might even start crying right now thinking about it. It's insane. It was nuts. That's all I have to say. Is because you have your mom and dad right in front of you, and you're just telling them, I'm sorry for everything that I've done. And I literally just fell apart. I was like quivering. It was so bad. Sorry. Oh, shit. But literally I was like quivering. I was like just fucking uncontrollably sobbing how sorry I was for the whole situation. But I remember when I was done though. Shit. I remember when I was done how relieved I felt. It's like just a weight. Just a weight came off my shoulders. I'm sorry. whew, shit. Oh, just bringing back the memories. It's insane. But I remember walking out of there just feeling like a new person. Like I died in there and I came back and like I had my life back. I was literally like reborn that day. I mean, crazy ass feeling. I mean, you can tell I'm emotional just talking about it. But I mean, that's the circle of death is all you heard about until then, and you're just kind of blowing it off. But god damn, I fell apart, man. You can tell I'm crying. I mean, I'm falling apart right now, but it was tenfold what I did in there. Literally, it's like my body is just quivering. But after that day, I mean, I was determined to never drink again. I mean, when you're in rehab, that's all you ever hear about is, and I don't know if they use reverse psychology. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I don't even care. You know, I've stayed sober and it's worked for me, but they tell you almost daily, like 95% of you aren't going to make it. You're going to relapse. You're going to fail. Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I got that competitive nature in me. And it's just like, I don't plan on coming back. You know, I've already went through fucking hell. I'm just going to do sober. I'm going to do sober hard. So, I don't know. That's a little bit of what rehab's like. It's an experience that I've never had. It's like no other. Like I said, it was a time for me just to focus on my sobriety 100%. There's no half-assing it. You're in there and you're doing it. You know, where a lot of times people like to just fuck around with sobriety. They just, I'm going to get sober. They get sober for a couple weeks and they just fall off. They just accept failure as an option. And failure is always an option. You know, I have the chance, I can drink whenever I want. I'm a free grown-ass man. So I always have the opportunity to go back to that if I want. But it's not giving me shit. I got a new life. But, I don't know, I just kind of bared my soul here, leaving it out there, but that's kind of what rehab's like. I don't know, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to hit me up. I know I probably didn't get into super detail. Like I said, it was over 8 years ago when I was there, so I don't remember all the exact details. I just remember doing all the things. It kind of felt like hockey camp a little, but I don't know. I went to Keystone Treatment Facility. It's in Canton. It's right outside of Sioux Falls, but I mean, they didn't even let you have coffee. Which is good too, you know. I mean, but initially, I was so hardcore. Initially, when I went in there, I didn't want to take anything, you know. I mean, they want to put you on these drugs to kind of balance you out. I was just like, I'm fucking done with anything that's a drug or alcohol. I'm done with it unless it's gonna help me, like. You know, I took it a couple of days because they just, you know, want to make sure that everything's, you're not gonna die. You know what I'm saying? But after that, I'm fucking clear of this stuff. I mean, now it's rare if I ever even take an Aleve or a Tylenol or something like that. Even if I have a headache, I don't want to take that stuff. You know. It's not that I fear an addiction of anything like a Tylenol or anything. It's just I don't want to put any of that in my body. But anyway, I'm going off topic. That's a little bit what rehab's like. I appreciate all my subscribers out there. I'm sorry this video